Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Book Talk. This time we have Kavita Singh Kale with us. She is a children's book author, illustrator, and animation filmmaker whose pictures have made their way into several award winning books. Her films have also been screened at various international festivals, and her art is showcased in museums around the world. And we're here to talk about her latest book with Tulika, which is Run, which is this very sweet wordless picture book about a group of children who are chased by a big Himalayan sheepdog across Himachal Pradesh. So it's a very sweet story. And this is also her ninth book with Tulika. So very special. Kavita has been a long time collaborator with us. So really excited to chat about this book with her. So thank you so much for joining us, Kavita. Really excited to talk to you about the book.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm also very excited.
Okay, so I think just to kind of, get things started, the first thing, I want to ask you is that, the story is, based on an experience that you had during childhood. So, where you and your cousins were chased by a sheepdog. So, what kind of prompted you to make this into a picture book and that too a wordless picture book?
Yeah, so like I keep working on many ideas every day, and the minute like I feel that it's resolved, I share it with the publisher. So it's not that like I have several stories happening. And so this one was one of the stories, and many of those memories where the it was something very strong memory about, just pure running or being chased by and jumping on those step farms. And I felt like the experience was so strong, like the memory so strong that it didn't require words. Sometimes, it's just when the emotion is so something like that, I felt like it will look nice as a wordless. It
Hmm.
You don't need word. It's almost like you're speechless. You
Yeah.
don't. So, so I thought like this will work as a wordless.
Okay, no, that's interesting because I mean, I think just generally, I think when you're illustrating and creating books for children, I mean, that has its own set of challenges. But how different is it to then illustrate for a wordless book as compared to a picture book with text? Because you have worked on a number of books, like say, if you look at, say, Rangana or Dungi Dance or Ari, all of that. What did you find challenging about this specific book?
So I don't know, but I see projects as like if it's a story, I don't think that medium matters, and I don't see a difference between a book with words or a wordless. It's
Okay.
just execution might be different, and
Hmm.
tell a story through this method or in this, and I've chosen to do this for this particular story because I feel it suits that. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, it's just I feel like words, pictures, or different methods are just tools, and I use it according to that particular project.
Okay, but did you find anything specifically different? Because obviously, since this is a book without any text at all, and essentially the pictures have to do everything in terms of explaining the story, right? So I don't know, was there anything that you found particularly different or while working on this book essentially?
Yeah, I think continuity maybe like I have to establish everything clearly so that the viewer or the reader can understand the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are things because I don't have words, so through just written language, I have to tell the story.
Mhm.
So in a book with words, I have words as one of the tools, and here it was not there, so I have to use a different method to
Okay.
tell the story.
Okay, yeah. Because I mean, I would imagine in a book with words, I mean, there's still text to kind of guide you here. I mean, though it is, of course, based on your experience, your memory, right, of this. So there is some base, but still, like, I would imagine it is like a little trickier compared to illustrating for a book with words. is what I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe wordless is like visual poetry,
Okay.
like how you see a painting and you still know the story.
Hmm.
And yeah, and poetry you read, and without picture you can still imagine.
Okay.
We're there.
Okay. No, that's a very different sort of comparison. Actually, didn't really think of it that way, but no, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. But also, how did you kind of arrive at the style of this book? Because it is again very different. Say, if we look at say your other books, like I mentioned, Rangana, or Dungi Dance, or Ari, or any of those, this is fairly, or even Jalebi Curls for that matter. Like, so this is, I mean, all of them are different, but how did you specifically decide that okay, this is the style I want to sort of adapt for this book?
Mm, because every book happened at a different time, and I was a different person at that time. So maybe currently I felt like doing this, and inspirations were maybe Chamba Rumal and miniature painting sometimes.
Okay.
And also, I took a lot of references from my own family, like the kind of textile we use or the house, the landscape. But as a designer, I wanted to simplify forms and not give too much of information of trees or the background for that matter. Because in this book, the pure emotion of will, chase, that's where I wanted to focus. So I paid a lot of attention to the characters, and I made
Okay.
the background very stylized and very simple.
Yeah, because I mean, it is very different from a lot of the other books. I mean, like I said, the style is very different dependent on the book, but this is, I think, even the colors are a lot more, vibrant, and it's very it's really lovely. And I think just coming to that, let's talk about some of your favorite spreads. I know unfortunately you can't see my screen, but I know we did discuss this. And I think one of the spreads you mentioned is, of course, this very lovely picture, which I am going to show. I'm just searching for it, is of the sheepdog and sort of the landscape within the sheepdog, which I think was like a very sweet way of doing it. It's very, artsy, but it's very nice. And I think was there any other image that you really liked? I know we mentioned a few, but is there anything else that you really liked from the book?
So I can talk about this image. This is almost like the center part of the story. The story plot will change after this. So it's the climax, and then we've been seeing is happening, and I want to depict like very pure feeling of thrill, and how
Okay.
the landscape became part of inside the body and inside. So I wanted to
Hmm.
that at that moment if the child can just stop and think, and it's almost like some kind of a trick, so that they also question themselves or ask something to the parent. So I've given this time in this book for the child to just imagine.
Okay. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
very interesting way of looking at it. Were there any other images that you specifically like you really liked in the book? I know, I mean, it's difficult as an artist to kind of select which ones you like best, but I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I like the first image of the where I could show a little bit of details of the shawl and the textile part. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
I really
I'm just
like.
going to show it for reference. Yeah. Of where the kids are standing and where the adults are there, and you can see the clothes and yeah.
That frame, and then another one where they're jumping and dog is about to catch them. That frame also is one of my favorite.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this one.
And the last frame, because again, like this is the chase or running, because book says run, and first time we see there's chaos and fear, and but the last run is very like joyful, and they're going
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah.
even that,
Yeah. I'm not going to show the last page because if you want to know, buy the book and see what the story is. So, but yeah, no, it's a very like sweet, lovely book. But were there any, I don't know, even when you were say illustrating, like say even for like the sheepdog and all that, were there any specific references you took or anything like that?
yeah, it is the same dog, that chase. So I, of course, and the size. very like these dogs are very big, and you know, if you're a small kid, so I wanted to show that part.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because I was wondering. Oh, so is it like heavily inspired from your, in the sense, the dog from your memory?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. That's nice. That's sweet.
black
Um,
dog. Big
sorry?
black. That dog was black, and then you know the size was very big, so that very strong in my head.
But no, that's so sweet. But no, it is a very sweet story. But also, we spoke about this. You've illustrated a number of children's books. This is your ninth book with Tulika, as we mentioned. What's the most memorable thing a child has said to you about your work?
So there are many such things, but you know, I think one thing that stayed with me is I don't know, like my Facebook friends. I don't know if people have seen that book, but
Okay.
I was told that you know, like the child really wanted to know more about my other friends.
Okay.
So they told me like, can you write the part two, like, you know, share
Oh,
friends with us. So that was very sweet.
oh, that's so nice. And were there any? Has anyone told you anything about Run yet?
Not yet. No, no, no.
Okay, well, I think you will get a lot of compliments for that because, like I said, it's a very sweet, innocent, like fun book, which I think, and I think wordless picture books are always like very fun to like go through for both adults and kids. But again, having said that, we have a lot of illustrators, educators, especially illustrators watching this as well. So, what's a piece of advice or something that you've learned that you'd like to share with aspiring illustrators?
I'm still learning, but I can share some thoughts. Um, so as an illustrator, remember that you're a storyteller and your medium is illustration, that art, but you're still telling a story through those pictures. And illustration is different from art in a way that art, you will do it sometimes for yourself. Illustration is design and you do it for a particular audience. So you
Hmm.
know group or a parent or a child. So you have some work to do in a way that you're resolving something or you're trying to communicate very clearly to your target audience. So this is more like a visual design work. So see it that way and you know tell your story clearly so
Hmm.
that communicate what you intend to communicate.
Hmm.
So yeah, and you know, just I draw every day, I write every day. Even if you're an illustrator, you should do a lot of writing, document things. Uh, Illustration doesn't mean only like some skill, it is storytelling.
Okay. So do you have like a routine every day that you follow for illustration and writing for your practice?
No, I don't follow that, but it's just that anything I like I cannot draw just to draw. I draw when I feel like drawing.
Okay.
So observe something, and if I'm very excited about it, I want to document it. So I'll write and draw at that time. So stay excited, look around, see joy in small things, and write and draw.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's very sweet. And on that lovely note, we have now come to the end of this book talk. Thank you so much for being here, Kavita, and for talking to us about Run, which is now available on the Tulika website and bookstore. So please go get a copy. It's a very sweet story. Your kids will love it. You will love it because it really is a very, very sweet story. And the illustrations are truly, they're beautiful, they're lovely. So, and if you're a dog lover, you'll definitely love this book. So definitely, go pick it up. And thank you so much for being here, Kavita.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.